Perry. I'll tell you my last name later because it's kind of a long one. Let me just ask him. Do you ever think a cigarette lighter could come to life? Does anybody have one? I don't see anybody that's got one. Well, you better believe it now. Because this is a story of Rick McFlicker, the cigarette lighter that comes to life. As I say, here it is. You can find this on Barnes & Noble and on Amazon both. So just here, taking another good look at it. The Life of Rick McFlicker. And of course, my last name, well, my full name, let's just say my full name, Perry F. Sagliocco. That's a mouthful.
And then do you have an Instagram account that people can follow?
Yes, it's Perry_Sagliocco. If everybody can see the spelling of my name there. What inspired me to write this? Well, ever since I was a young boy, I was always wondering if I left the room, bedroom or whatever room, would the whole room come to life? The lamps, the lights, things, the paintings fall off the wall and start dancing around. I don't know, It's I always had that kind of fantasy, and of course, Pinocchio was almost a required reading when I was a kid, and we saw how Geppetto just simply carved a wooden puppet out of a log one night, and it turned out to be really fascinating how Pinocchio turned out, and eventually the princess came along and gave Pinocchio this new life, but that was more fantasy. I was trying to come up with something real because I am going to, or hoping to, turn this into an animated movie. So I got to have a story of how these lighters came to life, because Rick is not the only lighter mentioned in here. He has, I'll just point out his girlfriend in here. Sparkle Eve is her name. I think you'll like her a lot. She's very beautiful, very pretty lighter. That's Rick's love interest. But they're just two of the lighters mentioned here. There's other ones in here. So they all had to come to life somehow. And the cigarette lighter shop owner, Lawrence is his name, you'll see in the book, he constructed these lighters, maybe a little bit bigger versions, so he could sell more lighters. And I guess he unknowingly did some sort of lightning rod experiment one night, and all these lighters came to life. He was shocked to see it himself when he went down the basement to check on things. He heard talking and everything going on down there, and here all these lighters had come to life somehow. So that's the story concept I've gone to. It's not mentioned in the book just that way. You'll just see you start reading and the lighters are already alive, and they're trying to do something in their life in the basement there. So Rick represents a group of older spent lighters that Lawrence, their shop owner, kept down there. And then one day he brings a box of new modern lighters, to put down there too. So now all of a sudden the new modern lighters come to life. There must be something about that basement down there. There must be something that's causing inanimate objects to come alive, So now there's a big conflict that these lighters are going to oppose each other, somehow. Hey, you guys are old lighters and spent. And yeah, well, your new lighters haven't been around the block yet, just like we've been, But eventually things all come together, but they share one thing in common. They're short on fluid, both the new as well as the old lighters. So they get news of one of their the newer lighters is a spy somewhere. They know where this liquid gold is being stored by these sinister people. So they come across a reporter, an actual human reporter, Amy Sinclair, she's mentioned in the book. And she accidentally stumbles upon these lighters. She can't believe what she sees. You'll see her in the book here somewhere. Let's see if I can come across her real fast. But she is the one that gets this whole thing going because she needs to make a news story about these lighters, and she'll lead them to this liquid gold because she thinks she knows where it is. So this is where the story gets really interesting. So, well, anyway, you'll see Amy in there. And so that's pretty much, and they got to get past these sinister people that are storing the gold somewhere, the liquid gold somewhere. And so that's the conflict. And once they recover it, once they put down the villains, they have a big parade. A town parade for these talking lighters, you know?
And would you ever consider creating an audiobook?
Yes, there is one in the works. We do have one in the works. The publishing company that I work with is creating that for me now. So it's been translated into Spanish, and we're also working on getting translated into French. And they want to translate into Chinese, since the Chinese is a big market, Chinese language, considering the population of China itself and all the other Chinese populations throughout the world. It would be a big seller there, I'm sure. But so that's what I'm planning on doing with it. And but as I say, it just came from a simple idea. I was just sitting in this cafe. It's right down the street, right down here in North Hollywood. It's where we are, and the idea came to me there. I don't know why, but I have written screenplays before and everything. But as I say, this idea just came out of the blue. Maybe it was in the coffee I was drinking. You know, they do have some coffee over there to get your creative juices going. It's called Tom's Cafe. I'll promote it there. Tom's Cafe, North Hollywood, Cahuenga and Burbank Boulevard. So, so there you go. So that was my inspiration, and just started working on it. And so put it down on paper, and it says, well, okay, let's do it. You know, may as well do it.
And where do you hope to see these books end up, as far as like, you know, institutions or, you know, in different book clubs? Or...
Yeah, book clubs, libraries, I'm sure. As I say, it's Barnes & Nobles and Amazon has it now. And but I like to, I'm doing a lot of self-promotion as it is right now. I'm just trying to show it wherever I can show it to. That helps. You know, 1,000 miles always starts with a single step, as they say. So you got to do your own promotion for a while. And I'm talking to a couple of marketing agencies as well. PR Newswire, I'd like to see handle this as well. And got to build up that hype. And I think it'll take off. You know, it could be the next Toy Story. You know, it's a long shot, but you never know. You know, I have a couple big names I like to maybe have attached to it as far as the voicing concerned. I don't know if I should mention it just yet, but I'm looking at some big names to be attached to it, and that should help. Well, production part of it.
Definitely wish you big success with the book, and thank you so much for this time.
Yo, no problem.
In the junk drawer bed.